We are now live, but there's a crazy lag.
Wow. Cute faces.
Why is there such? All right, we're good now. We are now live. Hope, man, what is up with this lag? Hopefully, this does not. What
It's
the
like
heck?
keeps. Hi, everyone on Instagram.
Let me see if we can just do this for a second. All right, we'll try that. We'll keep the audio, and we'll see if that fixes the lag. Not sure what's going on with the camera here. Anyways, we are live. What is going on, y'all? We are talking about fueling strategies, protein sparing modified fast. That was the question that was brought up in the last week's live for us to dive into today. So that's what we're going to do. Let us know on YouTube and Facebook if you can hear us. We're using these mics again like we did last time, but we're not using the video camera that we normally do. So hopefully that's okay. How's Instagram doing over here? How's YouTube and Facebook doing over here? All right. Protein sparing modified fasts. I've actually talked about this quite a bit in the past. I've done a podcast with Rachel Gregory. Highly encourage all of y'all to check that out if you haven't already. She brought the perspective of the protein sparing modified fast positives. I brought the negatives. We had a healthy debate. It was really good. To just cut to the chase here, I'm not a fan of protein sparing modified fast for multiple reasons. And I'll dive into that in detail. Do you have any quick thoughts?
I feel like this is definitely a you topic.
Definitely a me topic. All right. So I'm not going to get too long-winded here. Check out the podcast for more information. But first, let's start with the definition. Protein sparing modified fast. Basically, there was a study that came out that showed that I don't really know all the details of the study, but basically it pointed towards a protein sparing modified fast being more muscle sparing than extended fast. Basically, if you're going through an extended fast and not eating, and you compared that to a protein sparing modified fast in which you ate very little protein, but some protein nonetheless, and basically no carbs and fat, that showed more muscle preservation via this study. I'm not a fan of protein sparing modified fast because it literally it equates to very low caloric intake overall. And there's this massive rush. People diet all the time. The dieting culture itself is kind of a race to the bottom, when I'm not really a fan of that mentality. I'm much more an advocate for figuring out how to optimally fuel your body to fuel your performance, as opposed to how to eat as little as possible and minimize the damage. Like that to me is much less conducive to a sustainable, successful nutritional protocol than just simply fueling your body properly.
I do want to say something. I have to wonder, for a lot of people, what the benefit is. Like, what is the benefit you're looking for from fasting in the first place? And can you get the same thing while eating very little, but still eating, still having that insulin response, still having those responses from eating food? Wouldn't it be beneficial to do, maybe a shorter fast, or like a true fast or something like that? At that point, I would be curious as to what you are looking for as a benefit to fasting. And I don't personally use fasting or extended fasting, etc., for significant weight loss. You can use it for weight loss and getting rid of some bad stuff going on in your body, but we don't generally use it a ton with trying to lose body fat. We usually prefer to fuel the body and allow the body to do things naturally.
Yeah, and check this out. If the main argument in favor of protein sparing modified fast is the muscle preservation aspects compared to a traditional extended fast, there is another variable or component or lever that you can pull that is even more muscle sparing, and that is resistance training. If you are resistance training in the context of a caloric deficit, that is incredibly muscle sparing. That's why you don't really see a lot of you don't see any professional bodybuilders stop training when they're in a deficit. Like, they want to maintain as much lean muscle as possible. And the best way to do that is to use that muscle. If you are in a deficit and you don't use your muscle, your body is going to look towards that muscle to be catabolic and fuel your body to make up for that deficit. If you are continuing to use that muscle through resistance training, your body's going to be much less likely to tap into that as a fuel source. So resistance training is going to be a better option from a muscle preservation standpoint. Furthermore, protein sparing modified fast, like most recommendations I've seen online, are coming from people that are massive advocates for just not eating much to begin with. Now, Rachel, when I talked with her approach to it was much healthier, much more sustainable, and I can get much more on board with, which was simply, if you're in a protein sparing modified fast day and you follow that up with a day that is significantly higher in calories to the point that you are in a surplus or healthy intake for the course of the week, that should be fine. But the problem is, so many people advocating and recommending a protein sparing modified fast, they have you at like 600, 700, 800 calories on that PSMF day, and then they have you return to baseline, and that baseline is still super, super low on calories. I did some reading today because I was curious. Do you know what the caloric intake recommendation, or not recommendations, mandate was for people in the concentration camps in Nazi Germany? It was 1,300 calories. That's a feast by protein sparing modified fast standards. When the war got really bad, they dropped the rations to 700 calories, which is still higher than a lot of protein sparing modified fast days. I don't ever advocate going that low in calories. When I have a competitive athlete that is a very petite female and is at the very end of a competition prep, she may be as low as 1,300 calories for a week. And that is still within the context of having a weekly or bi-weekly refeed in which her average intake is still higher than that 1,300 calorie mark. If you are living life to the fullest, moving, functioning, and performing, your body demands more calories than that of a 6-month-old infant, which is more than 600 calories. I'm getting a little spicy.
Yeah.
Let me reel it back a little bit.
Robert said I was being spicy earlier, and I think you're being spicy.
I'm not trying to be spicy. I just hate seeing, because the problem is, like, people do all these trendy things in diet culture, and they pop to one thing or the next, and you'll lose a little bit of weight initially with protein sparing modified fast. I mean, that extreme of a caloric deficit, you'll lose some weight, you'll lose some fluid retention, you'll lose some food volume weight, you'll lose some weight. And that is like the high from a drug that these kind of people look to and feed on, and they want more of that. And with that, they keep doing it, and they keep doing it. They keep taking that hit. They keep doing that protein-sparing modified fast drug, and I hope to get that high again. And they go lower in calories and lower in calories. And it's a race to the bottom, and they screw up their metabolism. They screw up their hormones. And then I've got to take them through a reverse diet, which takes 6 months or longer, and play a long game approach that is healthier, is more sustainable. And
their hormones are happier, healthier.
Yeah, but people don't want to talk about that long game approach because it's harder. It's more challenging. It's more involved. So yeah, I'm not a fan of protein sparing modified fast.
However, let's keep in mind that there are healthier alternatives to doing it. Like Robert said, Rachel gave really great options as doing it while you're in a surplus. So if that's something that you are interested in or you want to try, because it's your own body and you're welcome to do whatever you want with your body, just remember that there are some people out there who are looking for the benefits while still in a surplus or still at a maintenance calorie of a good amount of calories, of something that is sustainable and healthy for your body. So just remember that no matter what you're doing, chronically under eating is not going to be a benefit to you in the long run.
Boom. I mean, look at people that have muscle. Like, muscle is like the greatest thing for longevity. If you are, I mean, you're going to be hard pressed to find anybody that has any muscle on their frame, and like looks healthy, that's just constantly advocating for incredibly low calories. Like, that's just, they don't go together, like you have to fuel your body appropriately. All right. So let's dive into some of these questions and comments. Triple G said, what's up? Hello, really important topic. Seems to me it's kind of trendy in keto community these days. There's a lot of trendy things. They
we
come
have
and
so
go.
many trends that happen in our community, which is good. I mean, everyone's got to figure out what works for them, but it also is so hard for the people who are just trying to stay like the track and just trying to like do their best. And then you get confused with all of these little things that should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do the other? And they're trying to do all of them at the same time. It just gets very confusing for a lot of people.
Sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side.
Yeah. What's up from, I don't know if that's North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Hungry Heath. It was great to finally meet y'all at the Keto Summit Omaha. What's up, man? Great meeting
very
you
nice
too,
to
brother.
meet you.
Great meeting you too.
What's up? Howdy. Hey, hi. Hello from New Jersey.
Wonder if y'all remembered to put my name on the brick outside the new compound. We have definitely not forgotten about putting your name on the brick outside the compound. We're waiting until the end of the month to start painting those so we can be strategic in how we paint those. But yes, that brick by brick launch is good through the end of this month. So we're coming up just a few days left on that. Mm-hmm. And then we'll start painting some names.
Looks like y'all about to bust some rhymes.
Bust some rhymes. What's
good
up? What's
audio
up?
on IG.
Chicka.
Wow.
Passion, not spicy. Yes.
Love that flat rim.
Yeah, I need to get more hats made.
Yeah.
Need to get more hats made.
What's up?
What's up, full-time savages? Heck yeah, ain't no part-time savage here. Thanks for demonstrating healthy keto. I lost 60 pounds, changed my life.
Wow.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Wow, that's insane.
Any questions?
How many times do y'all hit each body part weekly? Usually twice.
Real quick, from Fatty to Natty Bodybuilder, I got to give this guy a shout out. If you're following him on Instagram, great. If you're not, check him out. From Fatty to Natty Bodybuilder on Instagram. He is an inspiration. He's awesome. He just recently posted a comparison transformation picture of his first show, second show, third show. And it's awesome to see what he's been able to accomplish. Super proud of you, brother. So keep doing what you're doing, man. As far as how many times we hit each body part weekly, try to do about 2 body parts per week. Two times a week for a given body part.
Dylan said, so I shouldn't only eat 100 calories a day.
Yeah, don't do that.
I ruined my body with low-calorie diets for years.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, your body is not made to function on sub 1,000 calories. Like, it's just not.
Hello from New Braunfels, Texas. Hi, sorry about that email.
No worries, man. It's all good.
How is your foot from the 15-mile walk? So proud of you both.
The walk was amazing. My feet are still screwed up. I just got done doing my 1 mile on crutches, and I'm getting better though. Like, I did about a third of my mile walking, and then the other 2/3 on the crutches. So I'm trying to ease off of the crutches. But I should be able to walk, hopefully, normally by the weekend, because I need to mow my grass. So I need to be able to walk.
From Fatty to Natty, Bodybuilder says, you're making me cry, dude.
Hey, man, you deserve any recognition I can throw your way. Super proud of you, brother. You're an inspiration. Keep killing it, man. Let's see here. I missed a few. Robert, how your feet healing up? They are healing slowly but surely. I do have a doctor's appointment for a foot doctor in a few weeks, though. Hey, guys, so I got a question. What are your thoughts on taking a BCAA and pre-workout? Do you think it's necessary?
Nope.
Couple caveats there. I do take a BCAA when I'm in a deficit because it's just kind of a good way to hedge the bets. They're pretty cheap. I wouldn't recommend with a bunch of fillers or like sweeteners, but if you get just a simple, clean branched chain amino acid and you're in a deficit, that could be a good way to ensure that you're getting your aminos. I would probably opt for an essential amino acids as opposed to just a branched chain amino acids. But I don't think they're necessarily in a surplus because you should be getting ample protein from your diet. And then the pre-workouts, certainly not necessary. I'll sometimes play around with them.
I don't think it's necessary to have them at all if you're eating the proper amount of food and you're getting in a variety of different meats and making sure that you're getting those amino acids just on a regular basis. There are some that you might need to supplement, but it doesn't mean that you need to be taking the average Joe Blow on the counter at GNC branched chain amino acids. So I would first fuel with your food and then supplement as needed. But I don't take a branched chain amino acid or a pre-workout, and I haven't for a couple months now.
Max says, "Hey yo, what's up, man? Hey man, been doing keto for a month. Didn't track anything. This is my new plan.
Nice.
Oh, this is a couple half keto brick, 8 ounces of ground beef with avocado, 8 ounces of salmon with green veggies and coconut oil, 1 keto coffee, around 2,000 calories, 5'9", 213 pounds. Want to get to 200. You could probably eat a little bit more than that. I don't know what your macros have been. Here's the thing, like when it comes to calorie recommendations, I always recommend people before they change anything, track what they've been eating for the past, ideally they've been fairly consistent for several months, but then just simply track what you eat without changing anything for a week. See what the average is daily, and then let that be your baseline, but rather than a generic random calorie calculator online, because your body's metabolism is going to be much more set on what you've been eating than what a random calorie counter tells you should be eating. So based off of your stats and your picture, it looks like you're pretty jacked. I would say that you could probably handle more than 2,000 calories.
Yeah, I would definitely. I mean, in comparison a little bit here, I eat more than I eat more than what you just said on a regular basis as a 5'5", way lighter than you female. I think that you can probably handle a lot more, but like Robert said, find that baseline and then, or start where you are and work your way up, see how many calories your body can handle.
Yeah. What's the lowest daily calorie total you would ever recommend for a middle-aged female who's titrating down macros weekly in small increments? 1,200, and kudos for sticking through with the march. Thank you very much. Yeah, 1,200 is like I don't know what your stats are, but there is no reason to go below 1,200 for sure. Nope. I would try and not go that low. I normally bottom out my clients at like 1,300, like I said, for a week, and they have refeeds, and that's kind of high by a lot of coaches' standards, but I'm not willing to screw up my clients' hormones for a competition. So yeah, I would try and definitely not going lower than that. It's looking like 120 protein, 150-ish fat.
I would say you probably need some more protein.
Yeah, you probably need more protein and more fat.
Yeah, you probably do need both, but just looking at your protein, I mean, to me, if you're only trying to lose about 13-ish pounds, your lean body mass is probably a little bit higher than the 120. So I would assume that your body could probably handle a lot more protein, and then using a little bit more fat for some energy and things like that.
And if you just start a keto, you're going to lose some water weight pretty quickly, anyways. I quit 16-8 fast when I reached my goal weight. Yeah, a lot of people, there's definitely benefits to fasting, but there's definitely adverse effects to over fasting. So you don't want to overdo it.
I love the microphones.
Thank you. You don't hear it on Instagram any different, but I like that you like them. Robert Martin says, talking of calories, long-term carnivore, normally eat 1 kilogram, 2.2 pounds of meat a day. Last few weeks, struggling to get in 400 grams, just getting super full, backfilling with a clean protein powder, but not sure how to address this. Yeah, so it's not so much carnivore. There's a lot of nuance with carnivore. We can dive into that, but just consumption in general. If you're in a pretty significant surplus, I don't know how many calories that is for you. I don't know what kind of meat you're eating. I don't know if it's fattier or leaner. But when you are eating at a pretty significant surplus for quite some time, you start to hit this sticking point in which it's not fun to eat anymore. It's almost force feeding. And when it gets to that point, that's when I'll start implementing a bit more of an extended fast protocol. So I don't ever do extended fast in a caloric deficit, but I'll sometimes implement them in a caloric surplus to give my digestive tract a break, give my psychology a break of eating that much food all the time, and just kind of reset things. So that could be something you could look into.
Dylan says over here, if I'm only eating bricks, eggs, ribeyes, are there concerns with lack of variety? I think that is a fantastic schedule you have there. My biggest my biggest suggestion for someone who's going to just be eating bricks, eggs, and some sort of meat is to work on quality of the meat and the eggs, rather than thinking about adjusting what you can add in, working on the quality, because the quality of meat is going to give you more nutrient density. The quality of the eggs are going to give you more nutrient density. It's going to give you a better, just a better breakdown, really, of how your body reacts to it, responds to it. So if you can, try to get a good quality meat and a good quality, like local eggs or something like that.
And if she was to translate that into terms that you can relate with, Dylan, it would mean no come and go sausages.
True. But he did say ribeye.
Yeah.
And I think ribeyes are totally fine, but you can definitely tell the difference between a good quality grass-fed beef versus what's in the grocery store that's been grain-fed, that's been just used to be fattened up. But, adjust those things as you can. He said I just stopped those. Adjust those things as you can financially, because sometimes ribeyes can be a little bit more expensive.
Tommy says, thank you, brand new to keto. Freaking awesome, man. If you have any questions, definitely hit us up. I found a mocha keto brick in my cabinet from 3 years ago. You guys want to try it and see how the shelf life held up?
Woo!
That would definitely, it would probably taste brand new if it had been in the fridge or freezer for 3 years. But if it has been in your cabinet for 3 years, I would definitely venture to say it's lost some of its flavor.
That would be an interesting one.
Feel much better. Very good. I have been low carbing for many years, did gastric sleeve 4 years ago and shed 150 pounds, kept it off, but also lost a lot of muscle. Now found out my total testosterone, 1,300 and estradiol, 144. But my free T is only 250. So most T is converted to estrogen. Thankfully, bioavailable T is 400. Sex hormone binding sex hormone binding globulin is high too. Yeah. So here's the thing: like all these hormone tests, like they get kind of expensive. Like you can test for one variable and it's like not too expensive. Like a guy can go in and test for total testosterone, but that doesn't really give you the full picture, because it's not going to measure your free test and it's not going to measure the ratio that your free test has with your estrogen, your estradiol, all the other hormones. And if you have too much estrogen and sex hormone binding globulin relative to your free test, that's going to decrease your overall ratio, and you're not going to have near as effective, benefits that come with ample free testosterone. So that is something to keep in mind. That's why when it comes to hormone panels, I always try and get a full-blown panel, so I can take all those ratios into consideration. But I haven't tested in a while, actually. I need to test. There's a new testing company that Dave Feldman just started. You remember what it's called?
Darn,
Know Your Numbers or something like that?
I can't remember.
I think it's called Know Your Numbers or something. I'm going to look up Feldman blood test service, and you probably find it. I'm willing to mail it back so you guys can try it. It stayed in a temp of 60 to 65 degrees in my basement cabinet. Why don't you want to try it? You want us to be the guinea pigs? We have some from way back when. We have
like one from our very first batch.
But I think we packed it outside, so it's probably melted and then rehardened like 15 times. So it definitely wouldn't be very good. But totally safe to eat, but just not flavorful. All right, here we go. We got a question. Yes, I did overfast, like you said, messed up sleep and menstrual cycle. So I started to have small breakfast, eggs, bacon, nuts, and it's getting better. But also must say I was in a deficit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because with social media is amazing. There's no way we would have the platform that we do if it weren't for social media. So much good comes from it. The problem with social media is that everybody is vying for everybody's attention. You can't do that in a long format context. So people put out these memes, they put out these graphics, they put out these Instagram posts that are like very black and white. Boom, check this out. This is fact. This is the word of God. Check it out. Do it. Be better. And that's not always the right thing, because there's so much context that matters, so much nuance that matters, so much everything that matters. And it all deserves a longer conversation than can be delivered in a quick Instagram post. Own Your Labs is Dave Feldman's company.
Own Your Labs.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out and get some blood work done. All right, y'all. I got something exciting to say. We're about to lock up the building and drive to Siloam Springs.
Kind of lock up because I broke the key.
I just heard something. Was that Kevin dropping off the key? Maybe. Did he text you back?
No.
Maybe somebody's in the building.
Maybe.
We got a ghost in here. But I just found a podcast table that I may get for the new podcast studio. So I'm super excited to go check that out. Robert, you really hit it. Well, thank you so much. Crystal's the brains of the operation. She tells me everything she wants me to say, and then I just regurgitate it here.
Yep, that's exactly how it
Crystal's
works.
just kind of the quiet one sitting in the corner looking all cute, smiling, but she's the brains. So all the credit goes to her. All right, ladies and gents, love y'all. Real quick, we need a topic for next week.
Oh.
Next person to send us a topic or question is what we will talk about next week. Throw one at me, y'all. Please, please, please. We need a question. We need a topic. I've pulled everything I can out of the hat. So somebody send me a question, please. Here we go. Food quality makes a huge difference and is well worth it. After weeks of eating local, organic, pasture raised, I had processed high protein keto puffs and feel like crap.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it
It's
really
amazing
is.
the way you feel.
Vaping and insulin. Vaping.
Together?
I don't know anything about vaping.
Well, I used to vape because I was trying to quit smoking.
Because she was a bad girl.
But I don't know. I would have to research a little bit on that. Are you talking about them together? Like vaping and insulin, like an insulin response to the vape?
We can try that. How do you commit to staying focused? That's a good one.
Focus.
Living without a gallbladder on keto. I think we talked about that one before.
Yeah, I think we have. And someone just mentioned fasting.
Fasting. We kind of talked about fasting today.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about how to commit to staying focused. That was the
Okay.
Instagram question here. That's what we'll dive into. I love it. Mindset is always good. High volume versus high intensity training. That's actually a really good question too.
And then this one's good. Tracking ketones, is it necessary?
All right, we got all kinds of good
We have
questions.
so many good questions this week.
Yeah, so we might have to drag this out over a few. If it's a flavored vape, you may have a cephalic insulin response.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
that would
There's
make
like
sense.
Fruit Loop flavors and whatever. I used to always do vanilla, but
Actually, I didn't know this, but did you know that smoking cigars can rot your teeth because of the sugar in the cigar, like in the actual tobacco leaf? Crazy.
that is crazy. Like, but what about a cigarette?
I would
I
imagine
mean,
that
that's why smokers' teeth look not so great.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that you can, like, I used to smoke and think that, and like just thought that I was just going to overdo all of the things that is always, you know what I mean? Like,
You know how she stopped smoking? She came home smelling like smoke. I told her I would never kiss her if she ever smelled like smoke.
this
again.
is true. He did do that. I was already trying to quit when we met, but then I had a hard time quitting, and I would have one every once in a while. I vaped to quit smoking cigarettes, but then I vaped.
She didn't stop smoking because she cared about her health. She stopped smoking
did.
because I'm a really good kisser.
All
right,
That
y'all.
was definitely a good way to hold myself accountable for sure.
Yep. All right. Take care. Toodaloo. Love y'all. We got all kinds of good questions. We'll see y'all next time. Adios.
See ya.